and welcome to Reading the Game, the show in which I read the game to you. We find out more about our favorite games, and I get one less on my 10,000 books until freedom. This is Witch Brainy today, and we will be reading about the factions in Honkai Star Rail. Yes. Let me go to the side so that, we can read this together. Friendship and all that, yes. Now, shall we begin? Factions. It is futile for mortal beings to guess the will of the gods. Very so. Just as a mayfly and its irrelevance to a star. However, those with the same misconceptions form into groups, generating unexpected value. They progress from understanding to common faith, from misconception to doctrine. As more are attached to form groups, factions naturally arise. Regardless of the size of factions, they all interpret the will of the Aeons through their own creed. Countless factions almost claim to be the emissaries of certain Aeons. Most Aeons have no interest in the movements of these factions. However, some find it extremely amusing to watch ants' feeble endeavors. Such Aeons may provide crafty guidance or deliberate misdirection to influence factions, making these factions the ripples through which Aeons interfere with the world. Though most of the Aeons remain distant, the vast number of factions have made the stars a lively place. They carry banners and flags, forming alliances and foes, fighting those who stand against their beliefs. The cosmos became a lively place indeed. Yes! What kind of sci-fi is it without factions? I suppose I should take a note of that, shouldn't I? Well, let's begin with our very own faction, shall we? The Astral Express. Trailblaze. Choo-choo. Sit tight, no one fight. Warp jump, watch your head. Choo-choo, seatbelt, fasten up. Buffet car, speeding up. Astral Express safety instructions, pom-pom version. Oh, very nice, pom-pom. What lovely rhythm to your writing there. After the fall of Achivelli, the Aeon of Trailblaze, their trailblazing will was inherited by their followers, the Nameless, including the Astral Express that the Aeon once rode on. However, as the cancer of all worlds continues to spread, the star rails that the Express runs on also fell victim. The Express could barely run before the blight descended, and had no choice but to run aground when the rails became overly obstructed. It remained so for many years until a girl with red hair discovered the desolate Express. She was fascinated by the wordless stories the engine and the star rails had in store. She spent countless hours repairing the cracks and evening the dents, restoring the Express to its original form. The curious girl then set afoot into the Express and began her trailblazing voyage that surveys the cosmos. The Astral Express has made stops at every station, with passengers boarding and exiting along the way. Many join and leave the Express's journey. The travellers from the different worlds shoulder different burdens and head to different destinations. However, while they are on the Astral Express, they would share the same voyage. That is why Himiko and the Express do not hesitate to open its doors to anyone willing to share this magical experience, regardless of their agendas and intentions. Next up is the Stellaron Hunters. Stellaron Hunter, question mark, question mark, question mark. Blade, Silverwolf, Sam. The four mentioned above, dead or alive. Do not hurt the Destiny's slave. and do not let them lose their ability of independent thinking. A wanted notice out by the Interterrestrial Peace Corporation. In a quiet moment in time, the cancer of all worlds will begin to cause ripples across the stars, like a rock tossed into a pool of water. Before anyone noticed, this twisted and unknown matter had already corrupted a great number of worlds, but resplendent and mesmerizing gems accompanied this corrosive mud, gems known as Stellarons. Death and despair follow where Stellarons went. For many civilizations who have experienced the disasters it brings, Stellarons are a symbol of destruction. However, despite the Stellaron's nature, there emerge the fearless few who travel between worlds to obtain Stellarons. They call themselves the Stellaron Hunters. No one knows anything about the Stellaron Hunters aside from what they have done. Which Eon do they worship? What do they want with the Stellaron? With the cosmos filled with rumors about them, only one thing is for certain. Though the Stellaron Hunters are few in number, each of them holds incredible capacities and powers. Oh, very mysterious of you. Mother's group is very, very scary. But then I suppose it does consist of a woman who can mind control people, another woman who can hack reality, an immortal man who is just very angry all the time, and many more that we may not have even met yet. How exciting! Next up, it would seem in the list, there is the Nameless, though I thought we had already covered that in the Trailblaze, but I suppose not. I suppose that was very particularly the Astral Express itself, rather than the people on the Astral Express. Now, the Nameless Trailblaze. I see, Trailblaze is the collection that follows it. There are a few, like Abundance seems to have more than one, Naivety, The Hunt. Many of these, I almost called them Archons from Aeons, have many different factions behind them. They are loved. Oh, very nice. The Nameless Trailblaze. Mysterious strangers were seen to come and go in many worlds. Fables About the Stars by Adrian Spencer Smith. Oh, now that is a familiar name. They had much information about the Aeons also. I wonder how many times we'll hear their names in this collection of information. 1,000 years ago, the Aeon Achiveli traversed across worlds, laying down the Star Rail that linked worlds together in the Sea of Stars, and leaving behind countless legends about the universe and exploration. The brave and curious were attracted by the tales of these adventures, and followed the steps of the Trailblaze, joining the god on their journeys to explore the cosmos. The adventurers called themselves the Nameless. They rode the express created by Achiveli and set off on thrilling adventures on planets connected by the Star Rail. Legend has it that Achiveli, the Trailblaze, loved journeying with mortals. They and the Nameless would share wine and from various worlds and sing songs composed by diverse civilizations. They would disguise the moving express as a trail of shooting stars and laugh at the people looking up and away. However, they would often get into deep trouble due to their recklessness, only to be saved by the Aeon's power. Achiveli formed a deep bond with their followers, and their adventures continue to attract travelers to join the ranks of the Nameless. When Achiveli fell, a group of loyal Nameless carried on with what the Aeon had started, continuing the exploration of the unknown. They held the belief that one day the will of Trailblaze will connect the entire universe. The Astral Express that once carried Achivelli and their followers still hurries between the stars this day. It is believed that the Express is powered by the heart of the deceased Aeon, and is repairing, with great difficulty, the Star Rail contaminated by the unknown cancer. Oh! So the Astral Express may be powered by Achivelli himself, by the dead Aeon. But how in the world did this happen? Did Achivelli sacrifice himself to become part of the Astral Express himself and be able to continue trailblazing? Oh, we just do not know. We do not know. We also do not know where Pom-Pom came from in this conundrum. We know that Himiko put the Astral Express back together after it had a bit of a rough journey, but where did Pom-Pom come from? Is Pom-Pom what is left of Achivelli? Who knows? Who knows? For now, let's read about the Agentro Alliance. Oh Lord, there is so much here to read. The Agentro Alliance, the Hunt. Fight together against countless enemies. Be together through endless turmoil. Of the 1,000 lifespans encountered, I take but one sip and leave the rest to fate. A world's history as a mirror. Agentro. In an ancient era of legends, multiple Agentro ships were tasked with voyaging across the stars in search for the miracle medicine of immortality. The endless voyage took its toll on the Agentro, wearing away its conviction and shape over the long years, until their eventual encounter with Yaoshi, the Aeon of Abundance. However, all that the fruit of immortality brought upon them was sorrows, poverty, and endless war and death. It wasn't until Lan, the Aeon of the Hunt, returned from the abyss, using gravity as bowstring and stars as arrows. Lan shattered the ambrosial arbor and put the wickedness of the abundance to an end. After Agentro returned to the righteous path, it formed an alliance with the guidance of the Hunt, and formed a powerful army known as the Cloud Knights. I don't know about you, but the Cloud Knights do seem to be somewhat bitches in the actual plot, but I suppose that's what you get when you're not a named character. The Alliance's goals were to patrol the world and eradicate all abominations of abundance, and put an end to the corruption of the undead. Over the years, the Agentro Alliance landed on a great number of worlds that used to enjoy the grace of gods. They eradicated countless undead abominations. Any civilization that worshipped the abundance had to consider the possible threat of the Agentro in destroying their planet. This kind of deterrence was precisely what the Agentro Alliance is hoping to be. They want to be seen as a constant red line for those greedy for immortality, because becoming a price that none dare to pay. To this day, countless souls have gathered upon the Agentro, all bearing the will of the Hunt, and intending to seek vengeance on the ravaging abundance. They will not rest until the complete eradication of the deathless doom, and their cosmic doors will not end. Well, yes, we did know most of this from the main plot, but it's nice to see it written out. We tend to get bits and bobs in the main plot. I sometimes find that it feels like it's a little bit missing on information, or that the dialogue is a wee bit forced to try get the information across. However, this data entry does put it in really plain text, and that is why there are so many long-lived species on the Agentro. They had a little bit of a run-in with abundance and decided it wasn't for them. Oh, how very unfortunate, but at least they have figured things out now, though they may be taking it a wee bit too far. Who knows? Who knows? Let's check out the Galaxy Rangers. This sounds like they are Power Rangers, but let's see if they actually are. Because I don't think the Power Rangers would go for the hunt of all things, but let's see. The ultimate fighter dreams only of the stars. World's history as a mirror. Jiancho. Not all devotees of the hunt hate abundance. Such as a group of talented rangers exists out there. This group admires land's policy of using violence against violence, and the Aeon's swift decisiveness regarding punishment. Believing the benevolence and justice of the universe needs to be upheld via personal action. The Galaxy Rangers formed into a group of heroes, walking the path of the hunt, and roam the universe thanks to the blessings of the Aeon. They went from planet to planet upholding justice for the locals, hunting down evil and embarking on new journeys. I take it back, they are Power Rangers. The successful assassination of Lord Ravager Zulu first brought the Galaxy Rangers to fame, and many years later a ranger thwarted the atavistic experiment of the 64th member of the Genius Society, Mr. Primitive. But after that, these Galaxy Rangers gradually faded out of sight in the cosmos. Rumor has it that they fell victim to Dr. Primitive's vengeance. Oh, that's very exciting. I want to meet Star Rail's Power Rangers, most definitely. Can I become one? May I get a Power Ranger outfit me ho-yo? I very much need this in my life. Please. Power Rangers. Please. Yes. And next, the Doctors of Chaos. Oh, that sounds very interesting. What doctors do the chaos? We do not heal the body, nor free the soul. We do not covet life, nor shun death. We honor existence itself. Morong, Doctor of Chaos. Existence is nothing. When an organism has its thought and applies it as a guiding principle, it begins to walk the path ruled by Ix, and receive the meaningless glimpse of the Aeon from some distant void. This will usually have two outcomes. The organism will devolve and truly become nothing, become something called a self-annihilator. 2. The organism will be captivated by the magnificence of the Aeon, thus becoming a Doctor of Chaos, in their spontaneous curiosity. Doctors of Chaos uphold the creed of saving the world. If they are able to prove to Ix that existence is more than nothing, they could free that large and lonely soul from the depths of the void. That they prove is a paradox, and it cannot be done by mortals. Yet the Doctors of Chaos seem to enjoy trying, because the moment they perceived the worthlessness of life, that glance from the distant cosmos inspired within them a futile desire to revolt against any meaningless destiny. Oh wow, I very much like these people. I like that they saw the meaningless and decided to say, no, screw you, Ix, we would like to find meaning. And in a way, they are worshipping and attempting to save this Aeon. However, because we have been told how the end of an Aeon is brought about, I wonder if they realize that if they ever succeeded in their goal, Ix would no longer survive, as it would no longer be on its own path, and therefore would no longer be an Aeon. Is it possible to step down from being an Aeon? Or would an Aeon's existence entirely disappear? That is a question for later. Could it be that Akiveli is alive and they simply stepped off the path of becoming an Aeon? They simply stepped off and became a normal person, losing all their abilities as an Aeon. It is very hard to figure this out, and I am fascinated to see where this plot goes with it. Device X Nihility. Device X is real. Go find it. There lies all of Dr. Primitive's secrets. Some drunken Galaxy Ranger. Oh, very good. We got this information from a Power Ranger. Very good. Everything in the universe is bound by the prison of existence, constrained by their body and mind, and blinded by the world's superficial appearance. Even the most intelligent beings cannot comprehend this. Matter, order, logic, life, everything that makes up a reality is but one side of the coin. On the opposite side of equal entropy there exists nihility. The two balance each other to create the complete universe. Legend has it that the mysterious faction known as Device X, or would that be Device 9? I'm not sure, because obviously it's very close to the name of the Aeon. However, Device, it could be X and 1, which is Roman numerals for 9, I believe. I may have that wrong. Lurks in the empty reflections of void, difficult to perceive by the material world. Those who gaze into the void for a long time will gradually be drawn into the dark energy overflowing in the abyss, eventually passing through the dark web that separates reality from nothingness. This legend has yet to be proven, though. The most prestigious geniuses in the universe attempted to solve this misery, challenging Device X or 9 with no results. Why was this organization created? What is its goals? How many members does it have? What do they do? Does Device X truly exist? The answer is as empty as the question itself. Oh, I see. So this is very much a secret society, should we say. We do not even know if they exist. Fascinating. Fascinating. We may have to do this as a two-parter, you know, because there is quite a few of these. I didn't quite realize how they were. The Aeon's texts were quite short. However, these seem to be quite long, and many of the Aeons have many different factions. There's 27 in total, so if we do, maths, 14 in this one video, and then we do another 14 in the next video, I believe that would be sufficient to count as one of my 10,000. So let's continue. We have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was the 7th, so we need to do a few more. Now let's read about the denizens of the abundance. Abundance. One flower blooms, while thousands more winkle. Bones tell no tales, to abundance most fickle. World's history as a mirror, Zien Cho. The denizens of abundance create poetry and art in the name of their beloved god, spreading the love and kindness of Yaoshi through the universe. In the worlds blessed by Yaoshi, the water never runs dry, and the creatures are free from the cruel binds of time. Life is free to bloom as it sees fit. In the world blessed by Yaoshi, age is but a number, and mortals are not afraid of aging and death. They enjoy their lives to the fullest. Although its denizens come from different worlds, they all tell the same story. Thousands of years ago, war ravaged their lands. The short lives of mortals bred greed and fear, which gave rise to plunder and tyranny. As demons and plagues ran rampant, the very face of this world and its denizens were at stake in the flames of war, until a kind god descended and planted a flower seed as warm as sunshine. The moment the seed touched the earth, the whole world transformed. Parched soil began to heal, and muddy waters became clear. Mortals tortured by wounds and disease were no longer in pain. People's hearts were no longer filled by sorrow. Humankind discarded their blood-stained weapons and began spontaneously praising the blessings from the god of abundance. Yaoshi ended the suffering of these worlds, and bestowed upon mortals bodies and souls that could withstand the corrosion of time. In return, the denizens of abundance made Yaoshi's name known into the universe to show their gratitude. Rumors started to spread that certain hunters who roam between worlds regarded Yaoshi as evil and their creations as abominations. The loyal denizens of abundance will not tolerate such blatant blasphemy. The accusers who slander God will pay. Oh, well, abundance always sounds so nice, doesn't it? Oh yes, no war, no illness, no pain. It is very much like heaven is described. However, it seems that quickly turns people into terrible zealots. As much as they may have been willing to give up war with each other, it would seem they are very much willing to pick up swords against others. And that is the nature of many. As long as you are an other, you are fair game. Another faction for the abundance, Elixir Seekers. O wanderer cloaked in stars, why are you so obstinate? You seek only a poison that will annihilate the joys that mortality gave to life. Fable about the stars, Adrian Spencer Smith. Conflict and turmoil linger everywhere in an already short lifespan. The lust and ambitions of living continuously spark conflict and disaster. The transience of life has driven many ordinary people into madness. In order to escape the pain and burden that mortality has brought upon civilization, the worlds upon worlds have sent out faithful emissaries of abundance in hopes of finding the famous Yaoshi and acquiring the elixir of immortality. These elixir seekers all come from different backgrounds. Some are royals with the command of an entire fleet, while some are just lowly travelers who have nothing but themselves. What do they have in common, however, is obsession over immortality. The Agentro Alliance has repeatedly warned blind followers of the cost that lies behind the blessing of abundance. However, their warnings have always fallen on deaf ears. Arrogance and fear have always trumpeted the voice of reason, pushing elixir seekers further on their fruitless voyage. Among the vast number of elixir seekers, how many have seen the face of the abundance? How many can succeed in returning to their civilization with the supposed medicine of salvation? Sadly, these immortality-seeking voyagers have chosen to ignore the harrowing wails of the long-lived monsters that have terrorized the universe. Now that sounds much more scary, but also much more understanding. How many fictions have been pushed by that one arsehole who is interested in immortality? Far, far too many, and for many it is an understandable motivation. I have not seen many of these evil people looking for immortality called evil for the sake of evil. No, they have been called good villains, because people find it relatable. No one really wants to die, do they? Oh, how interesting. We're on to the Antimatter Legion, our main foe, or at least our most recurring foe in this plot in our story so far of Honkai Star Rail. The emissary in black asked for what purpose do you live. He could only give a vague and obscure response, even after thinking about it for a while. A deadly smile appears across the emissary's face. Let me put it another way. Why are you still alive? Fables about stars from our good old Adrian Spencer Smith. Nanook, the Aeon of Destruction, commands a vast legion that brings chaos and destruction to the worlds. Loyal followers of Nanook swear to embark on the path of destruction, placing themselves at the absolute opposite of life and civilization. They are known as the Antimatter Legion that spreads terror throughout the universe. The fiercest races of the universe act as vanguards for the Legion. There are also evil strategists who plot the destruction of worlds and act as the brains of the Legion. Innocent new worlds are ruthlessly destroyed, while proud and mature civilizations are forced to learn humility while on the brink of collapse. The will of destruction will only slow down when faced with a dying world. The Legion saunters over planets on the verge of being shattered, devouring the chaotic energy emitted by the process of decay. Only when the last flame of civilization has been extinguished will they leave contentedly to search for their next target. Worlds swept by the tide of the Legion ask helplessly in their dying moments, "Why?" Amidst the victims' cries of despair, the countless evils of the Legion sneer so heinously that even the stars shudder. It is said that as demons and evils roam, sometimes the shadow of Nanook would emerge from the starry sky to witness the tragic end of another world. Oh well, that does not bode well, does it? That is being evil for the sake of being evil, but it's being evil for the sake of destruction. It is trying to correct a wrong in the universe, because that is Nanook's plan, is to correct the wrong of creation. However, what is this other group? That is curious. There is a group devoted to destruction that is not the Antimatter Legion. The value Nanook sees in the Annihilation Gang may be less than the value an infant sees when they smash a vessel. Ah, I see. Research into destruction by Dr. Primitive. Oh, Dr. Primitive again. Very interesting. Not all fanatical devotees of the path of destruction are welcome into the Antimatter Legion. There are many murderous species throughout the cosmos obsessed with pillaging and annihilation, but they lack the ability to systematically pursue the will of destruction. The scumbags of the Annihilation Gang fantasize about one day serving as pioneers of destruction, but they have no idea that their cruelty only incurs Nook's utter contempt for them. The reason that the Annihilation Gang's goal behind their thirst for destruction is not pure chaos. Chaotic desires are also mixed therein, with some taking pleasure in bloody slaughter, some plundering as an excuse for filthy vengeance, and some relying on endless destruction to calm their internal madness. They claim to be loyal followers of destruction, but never escape the enslavement of their own selfish desires. These marauders roam the stars, dragging everything they touch into a vortex of havoc. They will not abandon their feeble personal ideals, so must endure the tortures of eternal spiritual exile. I see. Well, it would seem they would need a new leader. I think if they followed the... Oh, what is his name again? Let me scroll down till I find it. Elation! I believe if these ones followed the Elation, then they would be in a much better stance, but it seems they have completely misunderstood Nanook and his destruction, because it is not random and it is not for fun. It is a necessary evil as far as Nanook is concerned. Now, it does not surprise me that Harmony only has one, considering what we read about the Harmony not too long ago, in that they are one rather big hive mind and are about taking away your personality. Therefore, how could you disagree with yourself? I mean, people do that all the time, but hive minds don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is number 13, so we'll have one more after this. Although I might stop because it's the next two that are Air Edition, so maybe I will start with them next time. However, the family. Harmony. The world is in harmony and the stars shine bright. Praise the Lord's boundless virtue. All humans are brethren, and all things are connected. The winds of blessing sweep across the lands. Odes of harmony. 7. In the vision of harmony, the diverse civilizations throughout the universe will eventually become as close as siblings, singing in unison the hymn of unity and joy. The universe will become a harmonious whole, with no discordant notes to disrupt the beautiful chords, and no fools worrying about their own short-sighted futures. Thus, under the loving radiance of the Aeon Zype, their chosen people formed a harmonious family. They come from different worlds, belonging to different civilizations, and have different identities, but they are, at the same, the closest family members they are. There is never noisy disputes or even contradictions among its members, only eternal love and smiles. There is no more harmonious family in the universe than them. The family calls out to other worlds with their song, encouraging them to embrace harmony. Whenever new worlds accept the blessings of Zype, the family will celebrate and rejoice and work harder at praising the Aeon's kindness. But not every blessed world can become a member of the family. Few would mention the civilizations that perished out of stupidity or hubris. People are also curious whether any members of the family had grown tired of one of the voluntarily abandoned the path of harmony. In the face of such a question, the family smiles and replies, "Never." I see. I do not look forward to meeting followers of the harmony in Honkai Star Rail. It will be something of a horrific tale, I imagine. Something akin to Love Town, I imagine, which is something we don't talk about in Library of Ruin. However, that is it for now. We will read about the rest of the factions next time. I hope you learned something interesting. I know I did, and I am fascinated to know more about this game. It makes me sad every time they update, and they don't update with some plot. I need to know more, and we will find out more next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not already, please leave a like and subscribe. It would make me very happy. Yes. Goodbye.